for me.
Yeah.
Um, Guys, welcome back. We are here with Woodward Academy. This is our post-game press conference for Woodward versus Shiloh. Um, Great game. Come down to the last possession. Uh, Coach, just give a second to introduce yourself and your guys to our listeners.
I got Coach Thomas, Anthony Thomas, Woodward Academy. I have Nathan Boyer, Will Rich with me. Had a a tough win against a good opponent. We were had played in a couple of weeks, so it's good to get back out on the board. We're very thankful for that. Always grateful for an opportunity to play, and thankful for the opportunity to get a win. Down the stretch, obviously we got some lessons to learn as far as finishing the game the right way. But we knew that Shiloh was going to come in and pressure us, and we're athletic, fast, make shots. And so we had to make sure we took care of the basketball. I thought we could have done a lot better. But again, we're appreciative that we were able to make enough plays down the stretch to come out with big.
Well, with you being the leader of this team this year and being a pivotal part of the success last year, how do you handle being the leader this year?
I'll just say making sure everybody gets involved, doing my part every game, trying to rebound myself, and just doing whatever it takes to win.
Okay. And what do you see the difference in your duties this year versus last year?
Last year, this year to last year, I feel like I definitely have more of a leadership role, making sure everybody knows their spots on the court and stuff like that, making sure everybody gets involved, and just being a guy for the team.
Understood. And so with Shiloh being that athletic team, as Coach was saying, it seemed like, you guys had to make some adjustments. How do you feel you adjusted to come away with the victory?
I feel like once we get a few people just once we got our young guys knowing the spots of the court that we're going to be open and stuff and just communicating, made the game much easier for us.
Coach, as we talk about dealing with COVID, we understand how difficult it is with scheduling and things like that. Give us some insight into playing in an event like this and how important it is to be here today.
Well, being in an event like this, number one, it gets our kids an opportunity to play on the big stage with a lot of media interest. We don't have these media press conferences after region games, so being able to be in this atmosphere is good for the guys. Give some different eyes on our team, kind of expand the brand, so to speak. But also we get to play some quality opponents that will put us in situations where we have to really go back to our fundamentals and our basics. We just can't rely on going out being the most athletic, the most talented, whatever the case may be. We got to really hone down on what we've been practicing on. So that's why we schedule these events. COVID has thrown everything into a tizzy, so to speak. But thankfully, the coaches have been flexible. Schools have been flexible. One school drops, another school picks up. We've been able to keep this thing rolling so that the guys can enjoy it. Because a lot of them are not at school. The social atmosphere is different. So to be able to play basketball is an escape for all of us. So we're very appreciative of it.
Coach, when we talk about being able to play a school like Shiloh and having to go head to head with Coach Rivers, what is the preparation like? Do you do anything different with your team to prepare?
Oh, it's great. The preparation is the same, but you just get that much more excited when you got a good team and a good coach coming in. Coach Rivers has been successful ever since he came to Atlanta, and his teams are always scrappy. His teams play hard. They always win. And so you go into that game knowing that, hey, if we don't bring our best, we could walk away with a loss. And so, we try to get that across to the players during practice in the pre-game prep. And I think they stepped up to the challenge.
Awesome. I'll open it up to some questions for the players. When you guys look at your schedule, do you guys look down the schedule and look for events like this and kind of start getting juiced up and kind of talking about, hey, who our matchup might be? Is this something that you look forward to?
Yeah, most definitely, especially this year with there not being a lot of fans at home games and stuff like that. Definitely look forward to exposure and stuff like that.
We've seen a lot of kids come into events like this, have big games, and then recruitment starts to kind of pick up and take off. Do you guys get nervous or think about that at all?
Before the game maybe, but once the game starts, I usually get comfortable.
Awesome. Great game, fellas. Way to pick up a great win. You guys played amazing today and beat a very good Shiloh team. So Congratulations on today and moving forward in the season. Thanks.
Let me know when you stop.
You good? Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna get a picture.
Y'all stay tuned. That was Woodward Academy. We'll have Shiloh coming in here in just a second, so stay tuned. Just remember, you can ask any question that you need in the comment section, and we'll get those questions
How many
answered.
points did you have today?
Shiloh's coming in. We'll have Coach here in just a second. Remember, you can drop your comments, your questions right in the chat, and we'll get those questions. We'll get those questions answered for you. You can drop them right in the chat. We'll get those questions answered.
Which one's the ball?
It's Shiloh High School, and wait on Coach Rivers. We'll have Coach Rivers in just a second.
Anybody looking at you?
You're locked in with the Champions Classic. We're sitting here with Shiloh High School with the great Coach Rivers. Coach, if you could just open it up and just tell us a little bit about the team and tonight's game.
Whoa. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. It's a blessing. We're struggling right now. We lost 3 in a row. This Christmas break has been a little challenging, of course, and with the COVID. But I got a young team, and I'm excited about them. These 2 are the only 2 that really have varsity experience. The rest of those guys are coming from the JV. As you can see, we kind of, going through where we won our first 7 games and coming into this tournament. I told them, I said, hey, we could be 0-4 coming out of this tournament. And right now, between the TOC and the Tournament of Champions, we 0-3. So it's a great learning opportunity for them. I'm sure both of my 2 leaders, my captains, are taking notes from this because I'm going to get on them harder than anybody else because it's up to them to lead the young guys and show them the way.
100%. Coach, you've had a ton of success throughout your years at Shiloh. Very successful, very a crazy tough group last year that you had. What is it about that team that you try to transfer into this team, and are they able to kind of pick up some things from last year's group and the legacy of playing at Shiloh?
Well, I try to tell them I want my players to emulate me. And when you see me coach, I pour everything I have into these kids. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, and that's how I play. So I want them to be dogs. Real talk. I want my team to be the nastiest, the toughest, taking charge, the most fundamentally sound team. Now, granted, last year's team was outstanding. I don't think we're going to duplicate that this year. But we got 3 seniors, that's it. And the rest of these guys are sophomores and juniors. And, we're going to take our lumps early. We've got a couple of players that will be coming with us, joining us in January, who I'm excited to get. And I think that may be able to give us enough to have an opportunity to make a strong playoff run. 100%.
How do you game plan for a season like this with COVID, with games here, there, kind of matchups? How much scouting are you able to do before you go play, or are you just focus on your team?
I do a lot of scouting, of course. Huddle has been great in exchanges from other coaches. But today we had no scouting report. All we did was we went out there and played. Got a little report from Newton's coach yesterday around 8 o'clock last night because I couldn't get the tape. But right. With this group here, I'm just trying to get them to learn how to play the right way. And if they play the right way, most of the time we're going to be pretty successful.
100%. Guys, I'll open it up to questions for the kids as well. Guys, playing in these events, we see Coach Rivers in all of these big events year in, year out. We're used to seeing him. How has it been this year for you? I know some of these events, there's a lot of people watching, but maybe not a lot of people in the stands. Are you able to grasp how big some of these stages are? Does it impact you in any way?
Really, it's really been a dream for me. I'm not really back from Atlanta. Staying up home last year in high school. So playing these big tournaments, it's big for me. I'm ready to grasp it. I really can't grasp right now, but because of the fans, how many fans are. But still, it's big stage for us. I just take it in. It really didn't impact me that much. I always had pressure my whole life. So.
I feel the same way. Last year, we played in front of big crowd, but not have too many fans. Actually better because you actually be into the game more, not worry about everybody else around you. You can hear the coach screaming, make sure everybody's doing the right thing, so it helps a lot.
Now, you were at Shiloh last year, right? But you kind of moved in from out of state, right? So you understand the impact of what it means to suit up for Shiloh, especially playing on last year's team. What do you pass down to the rest of your teammates and getting them to understand the culture and the legacy of playing for Coach Rivers?
Being able to come in, play hard as you can every play. Coach Rivers make sure at practice, best condition team every time. Everybody working hard, playing hard. All he really preaches every day, taking charges. So being on the team last year helped me this year a lot, especially in defense. So you got to be defense first to play Coach Rivers.
Outstanding. Guys, we know every year there's a kid that kind of comes out of nowhere, right? Because of these events, because of these platforms, there's a kid that starts to play well. They kind of come out of nowhere, and then the recruitment just completely takes off. Do you guys kind of look at those events and say, man, I'm going to be prepared, right? When I walk in here, I'm going to be prepared, or do you just try to take it as just another game?
Yeah, of course. I think so during quarantine back in March, when I was taking my phone to Shiloh, I was sitting at home and I couldn't go outside, sitting at home watching Shiloh games, seeing them playing big games, seeing them playing against Will in big events just like this. And I was at home just like, yeah, I'm gonna go running this one day, get conditioning for it. Just to be prepared for this. It's like this right here is a dream for me to be here at Shiloh. You know what I mean? Being younger, I always want to play the big stage. Being here at Shiloh, I can play the big stage. So preparing, it's different. It's from a regular type of situation. It's a big time situation.
100%.
And with our conditioning coach, Coach Wally, August every day at school, it's running, and then at the park every day. As they go.
Guys, the difference, I know everybody plays AAU. How different does this stage feel than maybe playing on the circuit or in another type of event in the summertime?
It's different because for like AAU, it's not really a brotherhood like in high school. It's brotherhood playing on stage. So it's a family. So in AAU, you can have individuals from each other, but it's a family. You know, that's what games we're going to play together, but when we play together, you can see it's a family type of bond around the court. We have so much chemistry. So like it's more family wise than individual wise when it comes to these things.
Yeah, what he said, AAU, everybody's trying to go one-on-one. Like Coach always said, the high school ball is not nothing like AAU. So, for high school, it's one big family, everybody playing for each other.
Coach, you've never been one to duck competition. I feel like you almost go hunt it down every year. How has it been this year with COVID, trying to just navigate that and make sure you set up a schedule that works for this team?
Well, I'm glad I waited to set my schedule up later in the year, because usually I have my schedule set. I was able to get into, well, they already canceled the Beach Street, which was another big time tournament we were going to play in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they canceled the Stroud Classic up in Rockdale, which was another decent tournament we scheduled to play at Team Columbia. That would have been some really good bump.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, with me, I'm going to try to find the best competition, because there's no state champion in December. We got to get prepared for February.
For sure.
If we don't play that fire now, we'll never know what it's like when we go in there in February, and that's our first time playing against some fire. We're going to get blown out. So these young guys, you know, I'm hard on them, but I do love this team. Like, I truly think that this team got a chance to be special. Not saying that we're going to win the state championship, but, you know, looking at where we're at with 3-4 sophomores, 4 or 5 juniors, and 3 seniors, I think we're in a good place for our future. But the future is today for Devin and for those seniors, and I want to, you know, give them the opportunity to win a state championship as well.
100%. Definitely have the tools to do it. If everybody locks in and buys in, you never know. Once you get into that state tournament, you never know.
The COVID and quarantine and everything else, and that's another thing what we do at Shiloh. Like we talk to the parents about, you know, having a bubble environment for the kids. They can't go out, you know, during the holidays. Nobody can travel. You know, we got to take temperatures, ask all these questions every day. You know, make sure that we give water bottles and Gatorades that come to the games, and you know, because if one person gets it, season's over. You know, a good friend of mine, Coach Stroud, his team is under quarantine right now at Drew Hills, and I'm praying for them because you know it could hit any team. So, you know, I'm just trying to seize every moment that we have the opportunity to play this year, because we don't know if it's going to end tomorrow.
For sure, for sure. What are going to be some of your keys, Coach, as we close? Just some of the keys to things that you guys need to do to get to that point where you feel really, really good about your chances come February.
I'm going to have to get these 2 guys to step up more leadership-wise. They're great character kids, man. I love them. They're some of the best kids. I let them date my daughter. That's how good they are. But when it comes to getting in other players and challenging, that's where they have to take the onus, because coaches, players are gonna listen to coaches, but so far, but they're gonna listen to their leaders even that much more. And if they're
sure.
reinforcing what I'm saying, it's gonna go a long way. So they have a challenge, especially Devin going to college next year. He's got to, I compare him to a Chris Paul. I said, when you see Chris Paul out there, he's talking the whole game. He's directing, he's pointing, he's talking. I said, now that's what the challenge is for you. You got to get to the stage where you're telling everybody where they need to be on the court. And of course, this is his first year, so he's learning as well. But Trey is one of our captains as well, and he's just got to take the responsibility of chewing out his teammates sometimes when they're not doing right. And that's not always easy when it's your peers.
For sure.
But too much is given, much is expected.
Yeah.
For sure.
You want to play all the minutes, you got to do something else, besides just playing minutes.
No doubt. Well, Coach, we have no doubts that you'll have this group ready for February. You always seem to have your guys ready to go when it comes to state tournament time. Very dangerous team, and we appreciate you guys coming out. Good luck. Tough loss today, but we got another set of games tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be able to go get one out. Good luck to you guys in the future as well.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Absolutely.